Hey guys, this is OracleDaphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do a video which I haven't done very many of these. This is a tarot reading, but the theme is going to be on like bright spots. I was looking out my window and there's all these like petals and seeds in the air, and I don't know, the sun kind of keeps poking out of the clouds, and I thought, I did a reading about bright spots. I think it was over on IG. It might have been on here. I don't remember. This was like many months ago, and I wanted to do one today just because I felt like I'm inspired by the weather today, and so I kind of just want to see what I got. I'm just going to be pulling some cards and seeing like what are the bright spots that I see now. This is like bright spots, opportunities, miracles, blessings, things that might pop up, things that might come out of the blue, kind of like unexpected clearings of energy is what I'm looking at. Positive messages, things like that. Before I jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has donated. Thank you so much for being supportive of my channel. My longer content is not getting very many views, so please like and comment if you can. I really appreciate it. It does take me actually a longer time to post the shorts and even the reels over on IG, just because I have to tag them so much. And so it just takes me a lot longer. I produce more of them and it takes me longer. So I prefer actually the longer content, the longer videos. But yeah, just thank you so much for being supportive. All the links are in the description box. And I am still offering private readings, but it's going to be limited as we get closer to July. I will be closing my readings in July. So please, if you'd like to book a reading, this is now the time to do so. I am going to jump in and see what I get. And let's see. Oh, this is interesting. The bright spot actually is, I would say for some of you, kissing. Or like having a positive romantic date. It could also be a hookup. I feel like though this is not just physical. This is very like having like a really amazing intellectual conversation, or having a strong emotional bond, or being like really unified in the way you think about things, like sharing the same values. So this could be like a soulmate type person, but doesn't necessarily mean it's a partner. It could be a friend. It could be a person in your life where you have a very strong bond or connection to. I think the bright spot is going to be probably, for most likely, an unexpected kiss or an unexpected hot date, or like something that comes up that you don't see coming, maybe romance that you don't see coming, something that somebody says. This could be also communicating feelings, both male or female, doesn't matter. Like it could be communicating feelings, and those feelings might be something that like makes your day. Somebody says something to you that makes your day. Now, this could also be a compliment. I'm seeing also a compliment. Like the other day, like a lady complimented my hair. She said, I was at the post office and she said that my hair was like this perfect ombre color. And it was so sweet. And she's like, my hair is really long. And so she's like, she complimented my hair. She's like, I don't know how I could never grow my hair that long. It was just really sweet. It made my whole day. And so there could be something to do with physical attraction, like somebody making a comment to you. This could also finding like the beauty in somebody's art or tattoos. This is body art of some kind as well. I feel like this is like also somebody just finding you very physically attractive, or you finding somebody else very physically attractive, having a very strong attraction to somebody. I feel like there might be like some chemistry, like when you touch somebody also, like having like a strong physical chemistry or unexpected physical chemistry with somebody. I'm seeing that as well. Okay, this is already getting off to a good start, guys. Let's see what else. It took me a minute here to see what this is, because I was trying to look at the image here, and it looks like there are these feathers that I never noticed before that are part of her wings. And at first I thought, well, maybe she's kind of tied up, but she's not. So like, essentially, I feel like there's some energy of lightness here that's going to pop up, which, you might have a moment where, you might be feeling really down or really heavy, but then there's a shift in your energy and you might feel more light. I also feel like music's going to lift your mood. So definitely listening to more music, something that's going to create like an overall good feeling or overall good vibe is what I want to say here. Also, and it's funny I mentioned this the other day, sometimes I feel like it's spiritual energy that gives us wings, that gives us the ability to do things which energetically we just don't have. So like we ask our guides and angels to give us some energy, like a boost of energy. I feel like this could be a boost of energy somehow that you get, that maybe coming in from your spirit, I can't even say it, spirit guides, or coming in from prayers from other people, or just energy that's coming in from the outside that's going to lift you up in some way. Very positive energy. I think I talked about this in my IG video the other day as well. The things that give you wings are generally feeling feeling good health-wise, or feeling good like if you have, extra money to spend, or, that puts a little pep in your step. But I also feel like the things that give you wings are also romance and falling in love. So some of you might feel like you've fallen in love unexpectedly, and it's giving you some kind of wings. This is an interesting one, and I don't remember what came through my bright spots video last time, but there were some challenging cards in that one as well. So I definitely feel like with this card, the bright spot is going to be some kind of thing that you set with somebody that makes a boundary. That's like, I'm not going to say some strong boundary words, but like, I feel like some of you are going to really set some boundaries with somebody, and that is going to create like a brightness and a lightness for you, because you've set the boundary and they're not going to cross it. That's what I want to say. That's like strong boundaries, creating, saying no. Okay. The other thing I'm seeing too here, hang on one second. The other thing too I'm seeing here is there might be some unexpected like negotiation or words of negotiation, because we're looking at the bright things, right? So when you think all is lost because we have the moon here and you're staying up late and you're grinding away at life and you're like, okay, what the F? There might be something that comes through to create the win-win. If I'm radiantly, glowingly optimistic, there might be some kind of win-win. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like it. It just means that there might be an opportunity to negotiate or to get something, but I don't necessarily know if it's going to be entirely what you want. It's a bright spot. Doesn't necessarily mean it is like you winning. But I definitely feel like with this card, this shows up to say, okay, there's an opportunity here for something good, even if you don't see it. The opportunity generally, if somebody rejects you, is kind of like where you say, okay, perfect. I know that you don't, you're not interested, and I'm going to take my business elsewhere. It's sort of like they say divine protection, rejection is. So for some of you, this is divine protection if somebody's rejecting you, or if there's unrequited love, or if there's a situation in which somebody is not interested. It's like not going anywhere. You might see the potential in them. You might love them to pieces, but they don't necessarily love you back. So this is where I would say take the high road. The blessing, the bright spot is how you're going to feel when you've taken the high road. And you've said, you know what? I'm not going to offer this heart to this person any longer. This swan unties the rope with the heart and takes her heart back. And is like, you know what? This douche isn't worth my time. This is not worth my time. This is also, the bright spot is also knowing your worth, knowing what's valuable, knowing what your time means. Not wasting time on something that's just not going anywhere. Jeez, these are intense. The last one I did was also intense. Okay, this one is like an obvious one because it's a positive card. Every time I see this card, I think of caffeine. I think of something like, I think of chocolate. I think of being outside in the sun and feeling good, literally. There's been a couple of times in which my brain has registered happiness. And that usually has involved me feeling like the sun on my face or the sun on my back. So literally, you could be outside anywhere and feel the sun. It could be a moment where you might be out on your lunch break, or you might be out for a walk somewhere, and the sun comes out at a certain time and it kind of touches you in a way. Maybe it touches your body, or the light hits your face. And there's this energy of peacefulness or like feel good vibe that comes to this. I also feel like the sun card represents, well, okay, if we go back to the story, okay, of the Fool and the tarot, how the person who ends up with the sun in the traditional tarot has gone through like the dark night of the soul, and they got into a boat. They've wandered lost. It's been a dark, hard time. And they've gotten to a boat, and they've trusted the river, and they've trusted spirit, and they've trusted source to get them to where they need to be, where there's help, where there's relief. And the story is they wash up on shore after falling asleep, and they wake up, and they are like, when they wake up, it's this beautiful sunny day, and there's this little boy or a little girl on a white horse in this garden laughing. And it's a feel-good moment. And it's like suddenly all of their troubles are behind them, you know? So this represents, for some of you, all of your troubles being behind you. Having gone through the tough stuff, the dark night of the soul, whatever it was, the tests, the lessons, all that stuff. And you reached a point in time where things get easier, or it's just things happen in a way that makes you happy or makes you feel good, and you kind of have this like moment where you're very grateful, or you start to realize how much you have or how much things have changed in a positive way. I definitely see, like, for some of you, that's what this is going to represent. This is interesting. The bright spot for this one, I want to say, is a sense of balance, is a sense of like, I don't know, like for some of you career people, like I used to have this sense of balance where, you know, when I was working a full-time job and I was doing it, I was getting up every morning and I was working a full 8-hour day, and I was punching in on time every day. But at the same time, on my weekends, I also did the things that I loved to do. And I took time for those things. And I felt very in balance at that time, because I had time for those other things that really nurtured my soul. Was it enough? Not really. But at the same time, it was a sense of balance. So for some of you, this is work-life balance. This is the bright spot where it's like a sweet spot where you're like, okay, I'm doing this. I have this income, and I have, you know, everybody, you know, at home is doing okay, or my kids are okay, or, you know what I mean? I'm getting enough time to work out, or I'm getting enough time to sleep, or enough time to eat. And there's a sense of balance with your personal and your work life in career. That's what I want to say. Okay, this last card. Let me see now. This is funny. Okay, so my guide said this was pure lust. Okay. This is going to be like a moment where I don't know, like, I met this guy a long time ago, okay, when I was in college. And right when I met him, I wanted to hook up with him right away. I didn't want to wait. And later in time, like, we dated. He's like, why didn't you like do it? And I was like, I was too shy. I don't know. I think I was like 18 or 19 at the time. So, you know, I didn't really jump on it, but like, he probably would have been open to it. So for some of you, this is where like you come into contact with a person where you might hook up right away. You might hook up on the first date. You might not even make it through a meal. Like, there's some kind of connection or attraction here that's very, very strong. I also feel like there's a level of passion here that's coming through a bright spot, which, let's just say hypothetically, you haven't had your mojo. Like, you haven't felt like you wanted to, you know, and like maybe for some of you, this is having the hots for a specific person and going for it, you know, and they feel like the hots for you. This is like also for some of you, a strong masculine in your life in which that is a bright spot. And let me tell you, for those of you people who don't have a strong masculine, having a strong masculine in your life is going to help you feel balanced. And so I feel like there's a level of, I don't know, peace that's going to come from this, but passion that's going to come from this. And it's going to ignite all of your creativity and like, I don't know, like really put some fuel under your butt to do things and to get things done. For males who are watching, this is feeling like a certain level of like either accomplishment or achievement, or just like you have the fire under your butt to do stuff and get things done. And you're going to be getting a lot done during this period of time. Is what I want to say. Okay, I think I'm going to end off here. Thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. Please like and comment if it's all possible. And if you can, please donate, even if it's just $20. I appreciate it so much. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. Bye, guys.